Hello, Believe Nation. I am not feeling well today. Oh, Nina came by. I am not feeling well today. I've got a giant headache for some reason, but I still need to make videos. I still got to get them up for you. It's been, 11 years almost of making. Is it 11 years, Nina? It's been a long time of making content, and videos go up every day, no matter what. And so I'm going to do a little different format for this week of filming because I'm not on my A game. We're going to play a clip, and I'm going to react to it. And hopefully you guys still find some value. So today let's learn from Warren Buffett and how to construct a business.
I wake up every morning.
Entspresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
I have constructed a business that fits me. It's kind of crazy to spend your life painting if you're painting a subject you don't want to look at. I've gotten to paint my own painting in business on an unlimited canvas in a way. It's a different sort of place. I work with a great group of people that make my life very easy and that take good care of me. We have 25 people in the office, and if you go back, it's the exact same 25, the exact same ones. We don't have any committees at Berkshire. We don't have a public relations department. We don't have investor relations. We don't have a general counsel. We don't have a human relations department. We just don't go for anything that people do just as a matter of form. It's exactly the life I like. And it's not work to me. It's just a form of play, basically.
I think this is why entrepreneurs start a business. You want to be able to live your own life, right? I think a lot of people, you've worked at a job, you've had a boss, maybe you still have one, and you don't like it. You don't like being not in control, having to help build somebody else's dream instead of building your own, and then answering to somebody else instead of creating the life that you want. Entrepreneurs, though, then often struggle in this because the idea is, if you think back to why you started your company, you wanted to do this, yes, to serve, built to serve, you're built to serve, but also to have freedom, to build the life that you want. But then you don't do it because you quickly buy yourself a job. A lot of entrepreneurs have effectively bought themselves a job where they're working more hours than they were before and they're actually getting paid less than they were before. It's likely more fulfilling, but you bought yourself a job. And this is something that I think every entrepreneur needs to regularly assess. I'm constantly assessing it myself to see, how do I want to spend my life? And then how can I build my business around that? So I came back from Puerto Rico, meeting with Brendan Burchard and Dean Graziosi and all those guys. And in hearing Dean and Brendan tell their different stories, Brendan has nothing scheduled in the morning. Nothing. Like, he'll wake up and he'll play with his dog and go for a long walk on the beach. And I don't think he has anything until, I want to say 1 o'clock. I could be getting that wrong, but it's definitely at least noon. So the whole morning is just totally open to him. He never books anything in the morning. I mean, unless he's speaking or doing his events, but a daily, regular routine, his morning is totally open and free, and he's doing his journaling and just playing around and just having fun. He moved to Puerto Rico to be on the beach and to be with his wife and build that lifestyle that he wants for himself. And right after that, Dean was talking about how he wakes up and he's already working, like he's hustling, he's grinding, he's getting after it. They've both built the life that they want for themselves, right? And I think that becomes the game. I'm building the life that I want for myself. I have a daily calendar and daily routine that I look at, and I wake up without an alarm and I do my morning routine. And then I fall into different days, I have different tasks. And then the weekend I have a different routine with my wife. And I look at it and I say, this is the life that I want, right? And then being the boss, you then get to create the boss of your own life. And so people then, so Monday is my mentoring day, right? And everybody on my team ends up connecting with me on Monday. And I spend a whole day with them. And I'm still in touch throughout the week, but to do deep dives on stuff, we do it on Mondays. They recognize that if they're messaging me to talk about something throughout the week, they're interrupting something else that I'm doing. So unless it's super urgent, then don't do that, right? Send me an email, I can get back to you in 24 hours. So I've set up rules for myself, things like that, right? I check my email once a day at 7 o'clock. I don't actually check it. My email checks itself. So I get emails at 7 o'clock every morning, and anything that came before 7, I'll get today, and everything that comes after 7, there's a delay on my inbox. I won't even see it until tomorrow. I'll check my social media when I want to, when I have a break, and I slot times in to make videos, and I slot times in to be with my wife, and I slot times in to do CEO time and make connections and do outreach. It's not a fixed schedule, and that it's going to be the same thing in a year, right? There's always these little micro changes that will change in my schedule as I feel like I need to add stuff in. My tour, I did it last year, and that was because I wanted to take my wife to all these cities. And so we said, how do we turn that into something that we can make happen? I've been talking to my wife about this year going somewhere warm in the winter. So Canada winter gets pretty cold. We're inside all the time, and she likes the sun and the heat, and said, hey, how about we go somewhere? And we haven't figured out where. We're brainstorming where we're gonna go and what we're gonna do. But that's the whole advantage of building your own business, is you get to set your own rules. And then the people who you hire hopefully adapt to it. Like if they can't adapt to it, if I had a, even a high performing team member, but they needed to be around me 24 hours a day, it wouldn't work out. If you're constantly needing stuff, it just wouldn't work out. And so I think the disconnect for a lot of entrepreneurs is what I'm saying makes sense. What Warren is saying makes sense. You want that in your life. You want to create that. And that was the intention when you first started your business. But somewhere along the lines, it kind of fell off track. And you let other people's demands for your time become more important than your demand for your time. And so the idea of balance kind of fell off the wayside. And that's where people get overwhelmed and stressed out and feels like too much and burnout and all of it. So it's a great practice. If you're feeling like you need a little more balance, or you need a little more of something in your life right now, then architect it. Build it in. At least baby steps. Like, you may not be able to fully do it right now, but you can make progress towards it. And just the hope and the feeling like you're making progress towards it can give you the energy to keep going and keep building it. It's one of the greatest parts of being an entrepreneur, because if you wake up and you felt like it was all play for you, that you were serving, that you were helping, that you were able to build the life that you want and the family that you want, and spend however much time you want doing the activities that you want to do, you're just going to show up with more energy and have a bigger impact, which ultimately is what you want to do. So we've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But question of the day, I want to know, what's one change that you need to make? Where is your life feeling out of balance that you want to at least take a baby step towards? And what is that first baby step that you can start on this week? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you're still here watching, you made it this far, I want to celebrate you, because we don't just watch videos here in Believe Nation, we do something about it. So give me a hashtag Believe down in the comments as well, so we can celebrate you together.
You actually start a law firm and then practice law for some period of time.
I had no alternative.
And then you actually...
I had an army of children almost immediately. I painted myself in quite a corner.
Yeah. So zero choice is pretty powerful.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, of course.
So you practice law, and then you leave law in the firm that you helped found and move over to investments.
Well, but
help us understand that.
That sounds miraculous. In fact, it was rather interesting. I probably got paid about $350,000 in my first 13 years of law practice total. And I had an army of children and no capital to start with. And when I chose this alternative career, I had over $300,000 in liquid instruments. So
I had, and that was 10 years of living expenses. So I was not a courageous, venturesome, admirable man. I was a cautious little squirrel, saving up more nuts than I really needed and not going very deep into my pile of nuts. And so it wasn't that courageous, and I kept one foot in the law firm while I tried my capitalist career. But as soon as the capitalist career succeeded, I intended to lift that second foot because I recognized that the potential of law practice, as I saw it then, I didn't anticipate the boom that came to the big firms. I just saw it as being more difficult, and I wanted more independence than I was going to have as a lawyer. I hated sending other people invoices and needing money from richer people. I thought it was undignified. I wanted my own money. Not because I loved ease or social prestige. I wanted the independence.
If you want to know Warren Buffett's thoughts on how to build an empire, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
We were mental partners right from the moment we met.
I want to know, going back 50 years, what it was like when you first met Warren.
Well, I thought he was a prodigy.